Welcome to Brain Power with Dr. Echo, where each week we discuss how your family can boost brain health by addressing mind, body, emotional, and environmental health. Hi, parents. Welcome to another episode of Brain Power with Dr. Echo. It's such a wonderful day. Happy to have you here. And I have another amazing guest for you, Dr. Ruth Odoi. So, as usual, I'm going to have Dr. Ruth introduce herself so she can tell you all about the fabulous work she's doing. So, welcome to the show, Dr. Ruth.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Dr. Echo. I really appreciate the honor to meet with your community to talk. So I am Dr. Ruth Odoi. I live in Rochester, New York. I have three sons with a set of twins. I am board certified in internal medicine, and I'm the founder and CEO for Oasis Women's Functional Medicine, which is located right here in Rochester, New York. Did I say I'm board certified? Yeah, in internal medicine. And I work mostly with women who want to increase their energy levels and really improve their vitality. Um, and my passion is really to help people get off chronic medications by helping them wean off of it safely and also helping preventing them from even getting diagnosed with a chronic condition and having to take medications. So that's my passion, and I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, welcome. I love that we're going to talk about this because for our parents of children who have either children with ADHD or autism or both or more diagnoses, they often find themselves chronically stressed, which can lead to chronic illnesses. And so I love the fact that you are focused on helping women prevent the chronic illnesses or even get off of the chronic medications or medication they are on for chronic illnesses. So tell us, so you have this mom come to you saying, I'm stressed, I don't know what else to do, I don't have time, I can't get it right, these kids, I don't know what to do with my kids. So where are you going to start with this mom, and can you walk us through how you would explain it to her, how important it is for her to find, how she could find time for herself and how she can improve her health?
Yeah, I really being a mother myself, I really start from a place that you cannot pour from an empty place. So that's why it's so important as a woman or as a mother to really invest in your own health and your wellness so that you are able to actually be there and pour into your children. So that is the main reason, because what I notice is that women with, late 30s, early 40s, they have young children, and some of them are, at the top tier of their careers, or they have finished school for the most part. So they are, in the thick of their career years. And then some of them may also have aging parents. So now they are in the sandwich years. And so between being a wife, being a mom, being a daughter, they just have little time for themselves. And over time, the lack of sleep or the lack of rest just piles on, and it becomes fatigue, and it becomes exhaustion. And then you have something like chronic fatigue syndrome. And, and because you don't have energy to work out, now you are gaining weight, or you are not, it's very hard for you to lose weight. And what I know in functional medicine is that obesity sets up the ground for chronic inflammation. And then the chronic inflammation is really the basis of a lot of chronic conditions like heart disease and high blood pressure and even diabetes. So you can see the connection of you being a woman, trying to do the best that you can, taking care of your children, taking care of your parents, is slowly setting women up where they get to a place where now, they've gotten a diagnosis of either pre-diabetes or high blood pressure, or chronic fatigue syndrome, and they are on different medications. And, in conventional medicine, we have like the model where there is a pill for every ill. And what I want to add is that there is an ill for every pill because these pills come with side effects. And so once you go on one, then there are side effects. So then you need another medication to counteract the side effects. And guess what the main side effects for a lot of medications are? Fatigue. So now, if you are stuck in this like cycle, and I just really feel passionate about it. And I just want to help women who are stuck in this cycle to break the cycle and really get to the root of the fatigue, to get to the root of their health conditions so they can be healthy and pour from a full place and pour from a healthy place. And once you get into the practice and you get some of these things figured out, it just trickles down to your children. And then, you are setting them up for success, because they know that, well, mom takes time for herself to do XYZ. So it's okay for me to also take time for myself to do these things that will help me be healthy. I hope that answered the question. Very long, but
Oh, no, because all of those things are important. And one question that popped up in my head was, okay, so somebody listening to this and hears you sprinkle the word functional. What exactly is functional medicine?
yes, I'm glad. Yeah, I am really happy you asked that. So, functional medicine is really a form of medicine where we focus on the root cause of disease. We look at what is causing your disease and it's more personalized. And so, we do more advanced testing that we don't get to do in conventional medicine. So for me, I come in with the knowledge of conventional medicine. I've spent a lot of years getting that training. So I come in with that knowledge plus the knowledge of functional medicine and together be able to come up with a personalized approach to your care and more getting to the root of the problem. So when I think of functional medicine and chronic disease, I'm thinking of an overflowing sink, right? So you can approach it one of three ways. One, you can turn off the faucet, which is like get to the root of why the sink is overflowing.
Right.
Or two, you can keep collecting from the sink so it doesn't overflow onto the floor. Or three, you can keep mopping the floor. And I think conventional medicine is really focused on emptying the sink, mopping the floor, and not turning off the faucet. And see, is the analogy when I think of functional medicine. And I think it's very important that you go to a physician because we come in with additional knowledge in terms of the actual physiology and anatomy and pathophysiology and more come at it from a different angle. So
Right.
does that?
I've never had anyone describe it like that. Like, that is so interesting. Medicine is mopping off the floor. Oh, well, yeah, because but you just say, here's a symptom. Actually, you're right, because I was actually trying to describe it to another pediatrician today. She's like, what is integrated pediatrics? And I was like, well, so for example, if I see a child that says, a child with autism that says, and then the parent says they're aggressive, my first question isn't, here's some risperidol. Let's tap down your aggression. My first question,
Section.
are you constipated? Because so many studies have showed when there's gut disbalance and there's a lot of backup of constipation and there's yeast overgrowth, that child most likely will become aggressive. And so if we deal with the gut issues, there's an aggression gone and there's no need for such a strong med like risperidol. So yeah, thank you for giving me a new way to explain it. I appreciate.
You are welcome.
Oh, so yes, so back to this mommy who you said all these things to, and she says, yes, yes, I agree. So now where do I find the time to do the things you just mentioned? What are you gonna tell her?
Well, that is a good question, and I will go back and remind her that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour from an empty place. So I work with a health coach. So we meet and we come up with like a personalized plan. And they say that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So we may not be able to do all the things in one sitting, but there could be one thing that you can do, or there could be one thing that you can tag to something you are already doing that will get you towards a place of wellness. So I would say don't get overwhelmed with like, oh my goodness, now she's going to tell me to exercise and eat well and no, we will look at your schedule, we will look at your life and really come up with a plan what can we do today to get you towards like a good place that or where you want to be the person that you want to be.
Okay, wonderful. I love it. Great. So, what are some practical ways that moms or women, when they are implementing this health journey, can bring their families along with them? Because we're women, right? That's how we are wired. It's like whatever we're doing, we are sharing it with all of you, and you're all in it together. So how can they accomplish that?
Well, I mean, simple thing as just, if you're in the kitchen with the kids, um, or you have to be around them, you can take steps around the island. If you have an island in your kitchen, that increases the number of steps. Like any movement, right? If your kids love to dance, so you can have a dance party, and I do that with my sons. And my 10-year-old is like, "Bye, I'm not doing it." But the 7-year-olds are still interested and they still want to dance. And,
Right.
we put on some Afro beats or whatever upbeat music we have and we dance. And I get to sweat it out and they have fun and we all do it. And another thing I do is like when they fight, the twins tend to, they get into so I use that as an opportunity to do my breathing exercises because I call them in and I say, let's all sit down and breathe. So, so then I turn on my app and I'm like, take a deep breath in. So, while I'm, trying to
That's wonderful.
distress like an aggressive situation, I'm also breathing. So, could that prevent them from fighting because they don't want to do this? Maybe. But it also gives me that moment to say, okay, I could do my deep breathing exercises now. Wow. So there are clever ways to inject things in there, here and there that, you know, works that I personally do that because yeah, it's hard to find time to do all the things. And be all the things that you want to be. So just being creative with the time goes a long way.
Yeah. And I want to add, because kids learn more from what you do than what you say. So
Correct.
I know it's funny, so, but I look so clever how the two fighting people have to come and sit down and suddenly be breathing. And yes, they're going to be like, what? Let's finish the fight. But no, but really, you're teaching them a lifelong habit that's gonna help them. And hopefully the 10-year-old, we can find him somewhere and rope him into this too. But no, what it's fun, it sounds funny, but it's actually very powerful because they are learning from you. They are seeing how calm you becoming. They're taking note of all of that. And there isn't any kid that likes stress in their lives, really, honestly. So well done, mommy. And I hope you parents listening, you're taking note because I love it. I'm gonna try it on my 12-year-old and my 7-year-old love to get into it together. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, okay, it looks like you're upset. It looks like you're angry.
right.
Come on in, let's sit down and let's breathe. And then one of them is like, oh, not again. And I'm like, well, yeah, let's do it. And so I turn it on and, once the music is on, I'm like, okay, shh, and then we all do the breathing together and it helps me,
Right.
you know, um, and I think just finding in those small pockets. And I think People are always thinking, I need like 30 minutes to go to the gym. No, you can use 5 minutes to do something simple and then find another 5 minute pocket to do another something simple. If your household, you don't eat a lot of whole foods, you don't have to go from 0 to 7 days a week. That would be like a shock to your system, your kids, and they will not engage. But you can start, one day out of the 7 days and do it for months, and then do it another, add another day and do it for more. And so over time, the kids get used to it and they just accept that this is what we do here. And
Right.
it's helping you, it's helping them.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
something else about having your kids cook with you, because when they help, there's that sense of pride, and then they're more likely to actually eat the thing versus.
Correct.
And our kids, we need to teach them how to cook, because I think that's becoming a lost art in this day and age of
Absolutely.
microwavable meals. But if we want to really be healthy overall, we want to get our kids back in the kitchen. And it's such a great bonding time, because that's what kids remember, not the fancy things you bought them. It's the times they spent with you.
Absolutely. And you have to cook anyway. So why not
Right?
help them to? And they have, those like kitchen utensils for kids on Amazon. So you can buy a kit and, get them a stool and they can cut the vegetables while you make the salad and all of that. And what I've also done with my kids is like, I have a menu and we sit down and make the menu together.
Yes.
And so when they read what we are eating on the menu, I don't have to convince them to eat anymore because, hey, that's what's on the menu. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. That's what's on the menu. And we created this menu together. So, I have like a couple of dishes in my head. And so I say, okay, these are the dishes we have. What do you want to eat for breakfast on Monday, lunch on Tuesday and Thursday? And, so we create, and then my 10-year-old writes it. And then I put it on the fridge. So, there's no complaining. So about mealtime. So that reduces your fatigue. And another thing that does, it also reduces the decision fatigue of, oh, what are we going to eat for dinner? You already have the menu. So, you already know so that will save you some energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I love that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That is so great. Thank you for all the tips. So practical that you shared with us. So, if a mommy lives in the New York area and wants to reach out to you, how can they find you?
Yes, so we have a website. It's my practice. It's called Oasis Women's Functional Medicine. OASIS, Women's Functional Medicine. And you can reach me via email at Dr. Ruth. Doctor is DR and Ruth RUTH. K at oasisfunctionalmedicine.com.
Wonderful.
And I'm also on Facebook with the same practice name, Oasis Women's Functional Medicine. So yeah, I am all about moms and getting them energized and strong and not tired.
Yes, because then we can't really do the mom part.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Wonderful. And then you mentioned you also have a YouTube channel where you're gonna put lots of
Yes,
educational.
yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. So I will have I have a YouTube channel. I'm going to be putting on a lot of educational stuff. I'm going to be setting up like a um some, set of supplements that I think every woman should be on that they can just grab and take to start with.
Okay.
And of course, I'm taking new patients, so feel free to find me on Google, and come by and let's talk. Let's
Yeah.
get you feeling energized again.
Yes, wonderful. And so for parents listening to this, please share this with whoever you think needs to hear this. If you have friends in the New York area, send them to Dr. Ruth. You won't, I promise you, you will not be, what's the word? Dissatisfied. You will come out of there stronger, healthier, and more whole than you went in. So thank you again, Dr. Ruth,
Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
on. Yeah, it's such a pleasure. So have an amazing day, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.